So we have a situation going on here in Michigan where somebody has this idea, and I wish I had come up with it. I didn't. But Tuesday, we're all going to meet at a place in Berry County. Berry County is one of the smaller counties in the state. I think it's not nothing major goes on there, but it's a nice, pleasant county to live in, kind of a bedroom community. And the County Board of Commissioners meets sometime in the morning. So as long as there's public comment, I'm told that they have to let us speak. What this guy wants to do is have us speak from 8, 9, 10 in the morning, whenever they start allowing public speaking, till 5, 6, 7 at night. He wants to keep them there all day. We're going to see if that works, because we have to do something to put government back in its place. And just to getting together a group of like-minded folks to do something like that. And we got a good sheriff down there. He's constitutional, so he knows what side the bread's buttered on. And we probably have about a good half a dozen sheriffs in the state here that are really, really good. And that's one way to get these people to understand that we're the master and they're the servant. And none of these elected officials, I shouldn't say none of them, but too many of them, they don't seem to get that. And when they get a power-hungry complex, it just it corrupts them. And when government grows and grows and grows, it winds up hurting everybody. And that's where we're at now. I'd like to have it go back the way it was and kind of make things improve and go the other way.
Well, Matt, if I might, I don't, with all due respect, you've sided with Lewis Ewing in the past against my general beliefs, and with all due respect, I don't think you comprehend the depth of the nature of the problem. That's why you've listened to people like Lewis Ewing and others and looking for statutory remedies instead of addressing the real deeper level fundamental issues. And I don't mean to talk down to you, but can I try to explain what I
understand where you're coming from. It's like Lewis and I have a lot of experience and success fighting in court, using their statutes, their laws, their court rules, and all the other things. So that's kind of where he's coming from. And it's like then you got the basis of all that and what's behind it. And sometimes I can go in there and win a case with a court rule. So all I'm doing when I'm going into court is I'm interested in winning. I'm not interested in using it as a soapbox. And there's a guy that I know right now that got charged with some idiotic offense. I don't know if it was something to do with the interfering with a policeman or something, some goofy thing. And this clown, he is more interested in going to court and using the thing as a soapbox for his beliefs rather than winning his case. So, and again, my experience comes from court. That's what I've done for a number of years. I'm good at it. Probably one of the better pro se litigants you're going to run into. But if you're talking about, what you're talking about, it's kind of like you're going down to more foundational issues.
Thank you. Can I engage on what you're talking about with a strategy of tying up, I forget what the community is, commissioners or something, county commissioners, I think, or supervisors?
Yeah. County commissioners.
Tying them up for a whole day just to kind of like a filibuster.
That's exactly what it is. That's it. You put,
okay,
that's exactly what the word is. That when the guy went ahead and sent out the email, that's the word he used. So there you go. You called that.
Okay, well, with all due respect, I think there's superior strategy available if you guys would sit down and listen instead of just, grabbing a hot iron and going out and start whacking and doing things. That filibuster type of strategy, that's just one baby step away from what appears to me to be like throwing a temper tantrum. The statutory codes say that they got to listen to you, and so you're going in there and you're just screwing up everybody's day. like a kid throwing a temper tantrum, because you got a grievance that you don't know any other way to address than screwing up everybody's day and making them all pissed at you, right?
Well, that's not the idea. The idea is that we have a governor here because of this COVID nonsense that's closing the state down, and the thrust of this is to tell these commissioners, look, you have to follow the Constitution first and foremost, and not follow all these idiotic orders from this bitch governor. We're not going to be that crude about it, but it's like it's one of these situations where we have to do something to rein them in.
Yeah, and so you're throwing a temper tantrum like a little kid and tying up their whole day, right?
It's not a temper tantrum.
It's real similar. It's one baby step away. You're screwing up your whole day and making them all.
If you have people that want to offer public comment and they do it in an orderly manner, that's not a temper tantrum. And that's letting them know that, each person comes in there with a different twist on things. And that's what the goal here is, to get them to sit up and take notice, because this has happened before. A friend of mine used to be on a city commission, and he said, when we have a lot of people come into our meeting and it's filled up with something, we pay attention to them. So it's not something that we pay attention to what they're up to. We don't to what they want. We don't just go ahead and blow them off. If one guy comes there, it doesn't have any power or pull. And that's one of the things that I always have a problem with, is trying to find a stack of people to come with me, and we all stay on the same page and we all go in the same direction. And we say, look, this is what we have to, this is what we're trying to accomplish. And then each one of us would present kind of like the same thing in our own words. And we did that, and we were fighting a new jail, and we lost on that issue. But they got the jail built now in Muskegon County, and they were complaining that it always was over 400 inmates. And now that they have room for 500, they only house about 300. So that's government for you. But we went to all the townships and cities, and we said, look, this is why you don't need this jail. And I gave my reasons. Somebody else gave theirs. A third party gave theirs. That's what we're supposed to do. That's why you have these public meetings, to go interact with them. And, is it going to last all day? Probably not. We're not going to get that many people up there. We're not going to go all day with it. But when they start, we want to let them know that there's enough of us out there that this is what we expect you to do. And that's going to be the whole thrust of things. But it's an orderly, it's orderly debate and discussion is that's really all it comes down to.
Okay, but you're not doing anything to really shift the cosmic chessboard. You see, those county supervisors, they're not legitimate county government.
It doesn't. Okay, that's the argument we don't need to get into. For all intents and purposes, they think they are. I don't care if they're legitimate or not. I just want them to. I want them to back the hell down. And
they're not going to back down as long as they're illegitimate, Matt.
Yeah, I've seen them back down.
Not long term. You're not going to get any fundamental change. They might throw you a few scraps off the table, but they're not going to do any fundamental change. They're not going to make the military police state problem go away, which is what we really need.
Well, that's true too. But it's like, I'm not so worried about if the damn thing goes away. If it's defunded, that's a big plus right there. And you're content to just rearrange the chairs on the Titanic as the ship's going down. I want to take the chairs away, not rearrange them. If